Okay, with that, I'm going to do a quick intro presentation update on NCPP and preservation management. NCPP at MSU, National Center for Pavement and Bridge Preservation, was in 2003 that it was started. Bridges were added in about 2010. They decided that they were neglecting one of the more important parts of our transportation system, so they expanded the program to include preservation on bridges. The focus, research, outreach, and education. And that's what we're doing here. We currently, NCPP currently administers a few different technical services programs, both the bridge and pavement preservation programs, as well as the equipment management program, technical services program. And we're also working more collaboratively with the other AASHTO committees, TRB committees, Federal Highway and others, trying to make sure that we are all working in conjunction with each other, not repeating things, but sharing information and being more efficient with how we do things. Our NCPP staff, our director is Bouzid Chouban. We have a transportation preservation engineer, Todd Shields, who you all know, he just stepped out. Our bridge preservation engineers, we have a new bridge preservation engineer, David Miller, who many of you are familiar with, was previously with Louisiana DOT and since retired. He's been with us for not quite a month, almost a month. IT specialist Dennis Tang, who some of you may know, and I will call her the glue that holds us together, Darlene, who you've all, I'm sure, met at the registration. We have our bridge preservation website. That QR code does work. And on the website, there are a lot of different, right on the front page, there's a lot of different things that, resources. So outreach and education and sharing, that's kind of one of our collaborative things that we do. So we have links to each of the regional meetings. We have a link to Bridge News, which is a newsletter that is produced by the BPETG, which I'll talk about in a minute. We have the pocket guides, which were developed in conjunction with the BPETG also. And there's a lot of really good information on the website. You can go in and explore, look, find lots of great information. As those of you that were in the new member lunch may know, AASHTO at one point created the Transportation System Preservation Technical Services Program, or what you've all come to know and love as TSP2. The TSP2 is now been rebranded to Preservation Management Technical Services Program. So you're going to see and hear TSP2 for quite a long time to come. Officially, it's being retired, and it will be Preservation Management, and so the transition's going to take a while, but that is an official change. We have 4 regional partnerships. Those are the 4 regions. We have the West, the Midwest, the Southeast, and the Northeast. And all 4 of the partnerships have regional monthly meetings, teleconference meetings. There's always a technical, some sort of technical presentation or discussion at all of the meetings. There are some very good presentations. If you are interested in attending any or all of these meetings, you can let us know. We can forward you the meeting invites. They are open. Typically, we have 25 to 60. We've had as many as 150, 175 people on one that the Midwest did proactively, reaching out to local agencies, and it was a huge success. They advertised it, they reached out, shared information, and it was really interesting, very, very, very good information that was shared. We have 4 regional meetings annually. This is the last of 2023. They saved the best for last, I guess, right? That's what. So I was supposed to be funny, and you can laugh. It's okay. I know. I've been a part of this partnership for a very long time, previously at North Dakota DOT. So this is kind of my group, and I know more people here, and so I have a little bit of a bias. And then we have a national conference, which we'll be talking about in a minute. And, really the main purpose of these partnerships is sharing and collaboration and finding better ways to preserve and maintain our bridges. And that is the goal of all of these partnership meetings, all that we do. And so it's important work, and the partnerships do it very well. So we had the Western Bridge meeting, just show a couple pictures here. We had a technical tour, we had over 200 attendees. The Southeast, again, we had a technical tour, we had 250 plus attendees. The Northeast was just recently, and now we are in the Midwest, and that is one of the coolest bridges ever, is it not? And the 2024, we will have the National Bridge Partnership Meeting, September 9th through 13th in Salt Lake City, Utah. It is going to be, typically we have a half day, full day, half day. This will be a 3.5 day. So we start Tuesday, well, really start Monday evening. And it'll be all day Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and half of Friday. We will have concurrent sessions. We'll have 3 concurrent sessions. We'll have outdoor live demonstrations of maintenance products. You'll be able to do hands-on. We'll have panel sessions and peer exchanges, and it will be a really, really good meeting. I encourage all of the states, if you can in any way afford to send an extra person or 2 from the state so that you can see things that's going to be really beneficial for everybody that can make it. In addition to our regional monthly meetings, we have working groups. We have a few regional working groups for the inspection program managers. Other than that, all of our working groups are national, and we currently have 6 actively meeting working groups. I'm not going to go into the working groups right now because on Thursday morning, we will be having a panel session where each working group will give a little bit. We'll talk about what each working group does a little bit. And hopefully, if you're not involved in any of the working groups and you're interested in them, again, they're open to people, that anyone who is interested and willing to work. They are working groups, and we do actively do, we have an actual purpose for each of these groups. They're working on deliverables, and we have some amazing leaders in the groups, but those are the times they meet. Happy to have any of you there if you are interested in them, or if you want to join and kind of find out more. But Thursday morning, be here, and you will learn a whole lot more. So, any questions about any of that? I kind of went through it quickly. Okay. So, I am going to do the next update, which is going to be, all right. I know there's a way to just start this, right? All right. One of the groups that we work with a lot is the Bridge Preservation Expert Task Group. This is it's organized by Federal Highway. Raj Alaney is the leader of this group, and Raj was not able to be here. So I'm going to do his presentation for him, and I'm going to condense it a little bit, just so that we have one more group to do here. And, and but at least give you a little bit of a little bit of information about what this group is. There is the federal highway disclaimer. The content is for information only and not meant to bind states in any way. So the Bridge Preservation Expert Task Group will go over the goals and objectives, what they've accomplished, what's coming, and some of the initiatives. Goals and strategic objectives. These are the main goals of the task, of the expert task group. And I'll tell you that this is a very, it's an amazing group full of very knowledgeable, much more knowledgeable than I. I feel very fortunate to be part of this group, but there's a lot of really, really good, smart people who've been doing this for a very long time, researching, and it's really an amazing group. One of the things that they've done is ETG developed pocket guides. They have 11 pocket guides that they have helped develop at this point. They're non-binding reference guides. They're meant to aid you in kind of how-to. They're little mini kind of how-to booklets, and these pocket guides are all available on the TSP2 website. There was a link right on the front page, so you can get to them there. They're all available as PDFs, and the majority are they're all available as Apple apps at this point. There are a few of them that the Android apps are not yet developed. As soon as those are developed, we'll have links so you can download the apps and you can take these in the field with you and use them. Really good information. There's two more future pocket guides that they're currently working on. Deck sealing and polyester polymer concrete overlays. And the pocket guides were all developed into TC3 bridge preservation courses. And so these courses, if they're free to all state agencies, and they're also free to anyone through the LTAPs, or so for all local agencies, these are also available. And so the trainings, if you don't know how to get to them, reach out to your LTAPs and they will be able to get you the information for the local agencies. 3,700 individuals that have taken the courses, so that's a really great, that's pretty amazing. Federal highway case studies are non-binding reference documents. They've released 3 case studies, one on response to bridge impacts, one on eliminating joints with link slabs, and on utilization of cathodic protection to extend service life. Those are posted on the bridge, are on Federal Highways Preservation website. The report on localized, prioritizing preservation for locally owned bridges, that is also available on our website. That was developed in conjunction with our local agency working group, and based on a survey that was initially done with them. I think there may be a few of you that may have been involved in that initial survey. Anyway, that is also available there and on our website. They have ETG developed bridge preservation newsletters. These are documents that are that are developed by the ETG in conjunction with TRB, Standing Committee on Bridge Preservation, and AASHTO TSP2, or Bridge Preservation, or Preservation Management. See, I still am learning. And these are a few that are out there. I think there's a new one beyond what is shown right here, but these are all, there's a new one about every 6 months or so. And again, on the website that we showed earlier, Bridge News will take you to all of these. All of these are listed in there. So there's some really great information. They're short 1 to 2 page documents, most of them, but there's really good information in there. Corrosion prevention and mitigation. The GAO did a report a couple of years ago, and the House basically had, they did this study. There was a House report that included a provision for the GAO to review the status of the state's bridge corrosion control plans. The report examined trends in the condition of bridges on the NHS and what is known about how corrosion affects bridge condition, practices the states use to address corrosion on NHS bridges, and how selected states prioritize efforts to address corrosion, and how Federal Highway assists states in addressing the bridge corrosion. So the GAO selected 5 states: Florida, Illinois, Kansas, Rhode Island, and Wyoming. And based on, they were selected based on factors such as a percentage of bridge deck area in good, fair, and poor condition, and geographic diversity. And they also interviewed various other ones for putting together this peer exchange. They came up with recommendations. I apologize, peer exchange comes in a minute. The GAO recommendations are here. These are the states that are participating in the peer exchanges that were set up. Group 9 states in each in a peer exchange. The states that have the different types of environments. And I must have it over there. Oh, there we go. They based it on, I don't want to read the whole thing. Basically, they identified states that with different environmental conditions that could affect corrosion, and did some peer exchange types for the different, to develop funding needs, looking at existing bridges, and other noteworthy practices that affect the corrosion. Another guide that AASHTO has is Designing for Durability and Resilience. In 2020, they published the first edition, and it was based on NCHRP 12-108. Last November, Federal Highway published the reference guide on this SLD using recent domestic and international publications. It's posted on the FHWA website and shared through the FHWA division offices. Service Life Design Reference Guide. They did a webinar. They conducted the national webinar earlier this month. 42 states participated, 365 individuals, and 6 individuals from 4 countries. They plan to follow up with 8 regional workshops throughout the country, a day and a half long, and will be detailed and region specific. The first workshop is scheduled for the 14th and 15th of November in Minneapolis. And 7 states are participating: Louisiana, Georgia, Missouri, Minnesota, Florida, Wisconsin, and Iowa. And so there will be, when that gets done, I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot more information that comes out on that. And with that, thank you. Appreciate your time and me giving someone else's presentation, which is always a little challenging, right? If you have any questions about the Federal Highway BPETG program, Raj is easily accessible, and I can make sure that if you have questions, I can make sure that I get those to him. And I'm going to, we have one more presentation. I'll condense it. And here to give that, how are we doing?
We're out.
Okay. So on the AASHTO MaC and Haylye Brown.
So I serve as the liaison from the between the
AASHTO Committee on Maintenance Bridge Technical Working Group, and it's the Bridge Preservation. They changed their acronyms. They're not numbered anymore, but T9 with COBS. So I'm updating on the Bridge TWG because they have not been very active the last couple of years, and now we're getting moving again. So the Committee on Maintenance, develops, maintains, and disseminates information through guidelines, manuals, specifications, and other resources for maintenance, preservation, and operation of transportation assets. So the Bridge TWG, the Bridge Technical Working Group, deals specifically with bridge maintenance and preservation. These are our AASHTO goals and objectives: safety, mobility, and access, policy leadership, organizational excellence. And I won't go through all the points because we have to catch up on time. And this is how the 3 points kind of interact with each other. Now the Bridge TWG objectives. We have established emergency/rapid response, knowledge transfer, and performance measures. So those are the 3 areas we're focusing on as a group presently. So the next steps, again, this group was kind of dormant. So it was, okay, identify people that want to be part of the Bridge Technical Working Group, which we've done. Establish regular meetings. We're having monthly meetings. We had our first recurring monthly meeting last month. Anybody can join. And then like I said, we engage with the COBS preservation, bridge preservation technical group, and then work further to meet our goals. So that's about the virtual meetings. So we would like to partner with other stakeholder groups, and that means other preservation, the TSP2 preservation partnerships, any other technical working groups, the bridge preservation group with COBS, and anything that we can think of, just so that everybody is on the same page and we're not duplicating efforts when we don't need to be. This is just a little detailed about, how we try to accomplish our objectives, and so these were just ideas on how we could kick these off. So I'll just quickly go through these. You could read the highlights. And then the performance measures. So I think the majority of them, we think we probably might end up with some sort of peer exchange, and then go from there. Other actions. Like I said, participate in relevant preservation committees and working groups. Reach out to the Work Zone Safety Joint Subcommittee for more information on their efforts to identify effective traffic control strategies. That's a big issue with bridge preservation, the traffic control strategies. Sometimes that cost is more than the actual bridge preservation activity. And then maintenance cost. And then these are currently our research need updates. Mitigating early age cracking, possibly work with the long-term bridge program on that, and sealer testing and evaluation. And also either the long-term bridge program and the NDE lab at Turner Fairbanks. So that's the Bridge TWG in a nutshell at this point in time, but we are up and running and anybody can join. You could reach out to Andy Doyle with Georgia DOT, Sarah Sondag with Minnesota, or Graham Bettis with TxDOT.